telling that lone airsoft player who got dropped off by their mom or their dad for the weekend, hey, like come run with us, come play with us, and getting to know them, right? So these are all things that we do, when we are part of the Mayo gang. What is going on, Mayo gang? And today we're gonna be answering a very, recurring question, a very common question that we get a lot of times in our content about what is the Mayo gang? Because obviously when I start the video, I always say, what's going on, Mayo gang? And some of you guys are like, huh, what is that?
People still to this day, whether it be in our live streams, whether it be in our YouTube comments, in our videos, will still ask the question, what exactly are we referring to when we say Mayo?
That's right, yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about it and also let you guys in what exactly is the Mayo gang and how can you be inducted into the Mayo gang. But first off, the history behind the term Mayo gang. It actually started way back, I believe back in 2020, around that time.
I think it might have been Thanksgiving a little bit earlier, but as far as when it officially became a thing, like part of our marketing, like branding, was definitely 2020. It was all because of the Roast My Build series that you and Cisco had developed.
Yes, so because of Roast My Build, there were a lot of people that just submitted the plain Jane regular old M4, and we realized over time some people were just sending M4 after M4 after M4. Cisco got so bored of it. Even for an M4 enthusiast like himself, he really got tired of just seeing M4s, and so he coined it as like Mayo. If you have an M4, it's Mayo. It's bland, not very well seasoned, not very spicy.
It's not meant to be necessarily an outright insult because, again, like a complete sandwich, it would be incomplete without the mayonnaise, of course. It is something that needs to be there. Everyone likes it.
It's nice when it's there, but if that's all you got, well, it does get kind of boring over time. And so that term Mayo, calling someone's build Mayo, evolved over time to be the Mayo gang. You're part of the Mayo gang if all you run are M4s or all you have are M4s. And so that's kind of how it started. But it didn't just stop there. The term Mayo gang eventually bled on over to the creation of airsoft guns, because around that time we were kind of noticing that there was still kind of a gap between, I guess you would say, like the mid-tier level airsoft gun to the high-tier airsoft gun, and we wanted to offer a lot of airsoft players who were on a budget but still wanted a really high-quality airsoft gun that performs well. We wanted to give players that option because the mid-tier, right, around that time was very big.
Yes.
Right, that middle tier, not quite beginner, not quite expert, but in that beginner tier, and then from the mid tier to the high tier, right, there was that gap.
It was a pretty big exponential jump, both price-wise and also features in terms of what you get. Don't get me wrong, that gap was shrinking, but it was still noticeable, at least at the time.
Yeah.
And it was thanks to Lancer Tactical that wanted to reach out with us and work with us in order to develop a model that was going to be able to fill that gap, and that's where the first Mayo Gang MGC4 came in.
That's right, yeah. So we created the MGC4. Now, we did ask a couple of different other airsoft companies that, to see if they wanted to work together with us to create the MGC4, and I guess you would say, I'm not going to name any names, I'm not going to tell you what they did, but basically, I guess you say we settled with Lancer Tactical at the end because they were the most willing to work with us, and so we specified to them, hey, we want these kind of parts, we want this spec, we want the gun to look this way, it needs to meet these performance metrics, and after a couple prototypes and mock-ups, eventually we were pretty satisfied with what they did, and so with Cisco and the team here at AirsoftGI.com, we worked with Lancer Tactical to create the signature MGC4 Mark I.
And it was a success.
Yeah, it was great. And even then, we were surprised at how open they were to the feedback that we gave them. And so a lot of the feedback that we got actually was from you guys, over at the Mayo Gang, all you M4 enthusiasts out there.
Yeah, it wasn't really the Discord server, the live streams that we hosted, YouTube comments, even people in person when we'd ask would always be giving us feedback and actually constructive criticism as well, which is always good to see.
Yeah, and so with that feedback that we got from you guys at the Mayo Gang, you guys ended up telling us what you liked about it, what you didn't like about the Mark I, and so we created the Mark II. You guys wanted something a bit longer, something that can reach out and touch other players at longer distances, so we made the Mark II, and then you guys also said that you guys wanted something with a higher rate of fire. And so we delivered, and then we even went as far as to update the Mark I to meet that standard. So that's pretty much kind of the story of the MGC4, is that we took the joke about people that always ran only nothing but M4s. We said, hey, what if we decided to make a good M4 that the airsoft community can really enjoy and benefit from? And now, right in front of us here today, we got the Mark III.
It's finally here.
So Cisco helped pretty much design the Mark I and the Mark II, and now for the third lap around the block, I decided to help design one as well. And so as you can see, this is very much the Honey Badger style. We are gonna do a more in-depth video on this and everything that the MGC4 Mark III is about in a future video, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But just to give you a brief overview, obviously this guy is a Honey Badger style build, which is absolutely sweet. I specifically wanted something with a nice thick handguard so you could easily recess in your mock suppressors, your tracer units, because it's just something, like even the video I released a long time ago about
Honey Badger,
my quest for the Honey Badger. I wanted a really good airsoft Honey Badger that I could run all day long. And it's a quest that I've been seeking out for many years, is to do that. Kind of poor timing though, because apparently at SHOT Show 25 PTS, they did announce that they are partnering up with Q to make the actual Honey Badger. So, but it's good to see that there are more Honey Badger style builds, coming out, and I definitely wanted to be a part of that.
This is definitely going to be one of the options that is available. That's one of the earlier options that will be available. And honestly, looking at how it performs internally, which we'll get into later, I actually am also very proud of this as well. Is it surreal seeing a gun that you helped really push the design for come to life and see it in front of you?
But if it wasn't for your guys' reaction when I talked about Honey Badgers and I made the video about me seeking out the Honey Badger, if it wasn't for your guys' feedback and if it wasn't for you guys' saying in the comments, man, I really want Honey Badgers are great, if we didn't get that feedback, this gun would not have existed. And so it was actually because of your output that I was able to kind of justify to our bosses and sweet talk them into developing the Mark III. And the Mark III actually, this one is actually kind of an interesting story as well in and of itself, because originally we were just gonna make the Mark III with the same internals and performance as the Mark II and the Mark I, but there was quite a bit of a delay because at some point, I believe in 2024 at SHOT Show, Lance Chatwell did announce the Gen 4. And so we were like, that's kind of interesting what they're doing there. And eventually at some point, I want to say somewhere along the production process overseas, Lance Chatwell did contact us and said, hey, here are some of the new internals that we're planning to do with the Gen 4. Do you want the similar internals to be inside the MGC4? And so after reading it, I was like, heck yeah, dude. Yeah. So with the Mark III, I specifically requested, that trigger response, a snappy trigger response, a nice balanced rate of fire, because I know you guys like the higher rate of fire based off of the previous marks of the MGC4. But one thing that really caught my eye was their new billet style receiver. They decided to make a new mold for a billet receiver, so I didn't want no ordinary regular M4 receiver. I wanted that billet, I wanted that sriracha, that spicy mayo, the aioli, the cream of the crop of mayonnaise. That's right, yeah. So if you're gonna be boring and run an M4, you might as well do it in style, So I love that new aggressive billet style receiver group, which looks fantastic. And then inside, we're gonna get into more detail later in the future video, so make sure to stick around for that. But the internals are souped up, and it is, in my opinion, I think it's a step above our previous generations of the MGC4. So that's kind of where it lies today, is that because of the need that we saw within the airsoft community, and I guess there was a kind of a gap between that middle to high end of airsoft gun. We wanted to fill that gap. We wanted to bring you players an airsoft gun that can punch well above its weight, perform and feel like a high-end airsoft gun without having to pay the high-end price.
No, absolutely. One thing that we did forget to mention though was that in case you were wondering, the Mock Suppressor on here, that comes out the box.
Oh yeah, this is included, by the way. Yeah, just in case if you don't know. Yeah. When it said Honey Badger, yes, this comes out of the box.
Which is nuts to me. That's crazy.
Which is great, yeah.
The handguard, I gotta say, you did a bang-up job when it came to designing this. I love the fact that the handguard is nice and girthy. It's nice and thick enough to be able to accommodate a wide assortment of cans on here. And again, that was also something that in terms of Honey Badger builds that I have seen people request for specifically. And again, that's all thanks to polls that we would run on either IG, YouTube, Discord servers.
Because for the longest time, you'd have to buy an M-LOK handguard and then just kind of guess, okay, well, like, what can I fit inside the handguard? So I just wanted to be big enough and wide enough to be like, pretty much almost anything. You could just fit inside of here. You don't even have to worry about it, you know? So yeah, I mean, so that is the Mark III. It's available in 2 lengths, by the way. So this is this is the first iteration of the Mark III. This is my baby right here, which is I believe it's a 9-inch barrel with the 10-inch handguard.
Yep.
And this is the 13-inch handguard with the 12-inch barrel. Unfortunately, this had to be made because my boss was concerned that some of you guys would want a longer version of this, which it's like the anti-Honey Badger. I don't know. Yeah, I would never run something this long.
The black sheep of the family.
For a Honey Badger. For a Honey Badger, I would not run something that long. So if you guys are in good taste, you guys obviously would be more attracted to the shorter boy. If not, unfortunately, not everyone's born with good taste. It is what it is. So we have the longer version available for you outdoor players. But yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, the MGC4 project, the whole philosophy behind it was community-driven airsoft guns. You know, like what exactly is it that you guys in the airsoft community, what would you guys like? And obviously we can't do everything, you know, because we had some people say, oh, you know, we want it to be DSG built out of the box with the gate tight and all this stuff, and it needs to cost $200. Well, we can't do that.
Yeah, no, you know? There are some limitations as to what we can produce. Now, but with that being said, I do and am still very proud of the MGC4 lineup because the MGC4 is a reflection of GI's essentially like this sort of responsibility that we feel to listen to what the community has to say, right? Again, at the end of the day, the only reason that we are in business is because of the support that you guys have been giving us through these 20-something odd years and continuous support that we get to this very day, right? We wouldn't be able to have MGC4s if it weren't for you guys as well, right? That's sort of the biggest thing. We want to be able to offer a product that was going to reflect you guys. You know, what is it that you guys like to see out on the field? Because the MGC line is not ending on the 3. This is just the most current iteration. We are still 100% committed to listening to what it is the community is asking for, what the community is looking for, what are some cool things you want to see in the airsoft market that hopefully, you know, with enough cooperation from the manufacturers and some realistic feedback, criticism, and suggestions that you guys leave, we'll be able to make a ton more options. I really want to see an LMG, a Mayo Gang LMG be put together. I know a lot of my fans on the live stream want to see it.
249, because that's like the most Mayo.
Actually, I would want to see, you know, the MCR upper, that LMG upper.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But an M4 lower.
But
my gosh, okay.
With the Gen 4 internals, come on, that'd be kind of sick.
But just to give you guys a sneak peek as to what is to come later in the works, is that we are still trying to figure out and develop a way to create an MGC4 gas blowback.
Yes, that is another question that we have been getting asked quite, especially me on the live stream. People will routinely ask, is a Mayo Gang GBBR in the works? And to that I said yes.
We've talked to shops where they can make a Tokyo Marine MWS clone, but it just doesn't perform that well out of the box.
And here's the thing, if it's gonna have our name on it, we needed to make sure that it performs solid.
Yeah, it needs to do well, And then, you know, we have other shops that perform really well, feel really good, but then they will bankrupt you.
Yeah.
You know? So we're still in that process of development. So that's why we've been talking about it for some time, and that's why we haven't really seen anything yet, is because we're still trying to find that balance, you know. But outside of that, obviously everything is community driven, and like what Isaiah said, you know, like the primary goal for Airsoft GI is that we want to help the airsoft community. We want to see it thriving. Well, which is the next part about the Mayo Gang.
No, absolutely. Like, if it weren't, like again, previously stated, like if it weren't for you guys and the support that you've been giving us, we would have gone out of business long time ago. The MGC4 lineup is just a reflection of that. And it's not even just about guns either that we're trying to develop by listening to the community. It's also going to be events as well. You know, Airsoft GI has a long-running history of organizing games and other types of events for the community as well. Because again, events are fun, whether it be going out and playing during like a BB Wars.
We are going to be hosting a BB Wars around May, I believe.
May 25th.
May 25th in Southern California. So, yeah, wait for us to officially, obviously, announce it. but it is going to be happening, so make sure you guys gear up for that because it's going to be an absolute blast.
Yeah, airsoft events in general are always going to be incredibly important, not just because, obviously, because so I might sound a little biased because on our end, we're the ones that are organizing it, but they are important to attend, especially if you want airsoft to continue, if you want it to blossom and flourish, whether you are a newer player or you've been in this hobby for 20-something odd years, it's still very important to show that you are committed to the hobby itself and support all these events that are going on, because it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of planning, and again, people want these events to continue happening. And the only way to do that and continue showing your support is by attending and, of course, getting your tickets.
Yeah, and to answer the next part of the question, what does it mean to be part of the Mayo gang? Well, in order to be part of the Mayo gang, number one, you gotta own an Airsoft M4AG.
That's a pretty big one.
You just gotta do that, okay? Especially if you own an MGC4, all right, you are solidly a card-carrying member of the of the Mayo gang. Okay?
Bona fide Mayo member.
But what does it mean to be part of the Mayo gang? So, the Mayo gang is going to be, it's a loosely based community, obviously, of dedicated airsoft players who enjoy and love the hobby that is airsoft. Whether you are a player, whether you are just strictly like an event goer, or if you're a collector, you just like to collect airsoft guns, or if you're a tech who likes building airsoft guns for you and for other people, right? People who absolutely love the hobby that is airsoft in all of its forms, but also the way that you carry yourself in the Mayo gang. So when you are a Mayo gang member, obviously the way that you represent airsoft as a hobby to other people, how welcoming are you to new players? Do you support people that are getting into the hobby? Do you actively try to help other people out? Do you try to make lasting friendships while you're out there on the airsoft field? These are all things that people within the Mayo gang do. And I can say though, for the people that we've played with, again, card-carrying members of the Mayo gang, these are all aspects that, attributes that we embody. We always try to look out for new players. We like to, sometimes I just give them free stuff. I'm like, hey, you want these Big Cat magazines here, take it.
Or if they're having problems on the field, just letting them borrow some of our own personal guns.
Sometimes even bringing some of our personal tools to help troubleshoot, telling that lone airsoft player who got dropped off by their mom or their dad for the weekend, hey, like come run with us, come play with us, and getting to know them, right? So these are all things that we do when we are a part of the Mayo gang.
And just like that, there are things that you should not be doing if you want to be a member of the Mayo gang itself, or even just a decent airsofter. Obviously, there are certain actions that you can do that will be harmful or even toxic to the health of airsoft, not just in your community, but to the overall airsoft community as a whole, right? Whether it be mag dumping other players, right? Whether not calling your hits, taking property that isn't yours on the airsoft field,
starting fights with other players about who hit who or whatever,
adding to the already big toxic cesspool that is airsoft toxic videos out that exist on YouTube. That's just not conducive, or I would say at all helpful to the community at all. It doesn't shed a good light on the industry.
It doesn't do the hobby any favors, because obviously as someone who enjoys and loves the hobby that is airsoft, right, the way we present ourselves to other people outside of the community, and also how we treat other people within the airsoft community, that matters. And I would say, as far as community goes, Isaias, he has been an absolute bedrock in the airsoft community and within the Mayo gang. He's the guy, doing all the live streams, answering you guys' questions, giving you guys advice on airsoft, giving you guys recommendations, hanging out with y'all, getting to know you guys. He's done a lot of that. And especially when it comes to just answering, let's say, your messages or your comments on YouTube or on Instagram, or sometimes even the live chat service, sometimes Isaias will also be there, to help you guys out with whatever you guys need. And he's been doing that for a while, so he's been kind of like the bedrock in the Mayo gang community.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I try my best, obviously, because yes, obviously this is a company that I do work for, obviously, and it is my job. But at the end of the day, there are other jobs that exist out there. I could have left at any point that I really wanted to. I stick around because not only am I loyal to Airsoft GI as a whole, but I'm loyal to the community that we've developed. I remember starting off on Airsoft and not knowing much. I've been made fun of. I've had some of the worst experiences you can possibly imagine, just asking questions and looking for help and looking for advice, looking for guidance or acceptance into the community. And I've had the absolute nightmare of an experience of it. But I've also had good experiences that left a lasting impression on me, and I wanted to be able to continue that and have Airsoft GI be that sort of safe space, that safe ground for everyone else. And I'm gonna continue doing that for as long as I can.
Yeah, even personally for me, if someone is new and they're showing up playing Airsoft for the first time, we want those people, we want the next generation of players to leave the field and saying, wow, that was great, I wanna come back and do this again. You know, so if you guys, you know, listen to all of our, I guess, criteria and things that is expected to be of a Mayo game, you guys might be part of the Mayo game without even knowing it.
There's more of you out there than you realize.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of, you know, what our philosophy is behind the Mayo game. It started out as a meme, and then, you know, it went into creating airsoft guns that we thought the community would want, and an airsoft gun built by community feedback from you guys. And then now it is becoming a full-fledged, just like a community where we want to push positive change. We want to make airsoft a very fun and exciting and welcoming hobby for other people.
And even beyond that too, at least because again, we've been able to make so many lifelong friends because of the Mayo game, because of Airsoft. I would dare say that the Mayo gang has sort of become a full-fledged brotherhood for many of us, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, and if you guys would like to become a part of that, you guys are always welcome to do so. I would highly recommend you guys joining the Discord. I will put the link to the Discord down below in the description. And, you know, yeah, they're filled with a lot of really good guys who really love the hobby of Airsoft, that love to grow the community, especially our tech help.
Oh my goodness!
Our tech help chat in the Discord. Yeah, it saves guys so many headaches. You know, like we have some really experienced people that know what they're doing, that can also help you out if you are having problems with the Airsoft gun, right? There's a lot of stuff that we offer in the official Airsoft GI Discord. That's the home of the Mayo gang. But outside of that, hopefully I answered your question about what is the Mayo gang, and obviously now you know how you can become a part of that Mayo gang. We hope that you guys do end up joining the ranks, become card-carrying members of the Mayo gang, and helping influence Airsoft in a positive and welcoming way. And of course, if you want to be the absolute card-carrying, the inner core, the inner circle of the Mayo gang.
Self-plug.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, this is my baby, man. Yeah, make sure to check out the MGC4 Mark III. That's not the real Mark III.
Hey, you know what?
That is not the real Mark III.
No, right?
Oh gosh.
Fraternal twins, all right?
Okay, all right, yeah, but this is my favorite twin, all right? So, yeah, make sure to check out the MGC4 Mark III. It's available right now. I know it's been on pre-order for a while and there were some delays, but it's finally here. And of course, we are gonna be dropping a video where we get to absolutely rip with this guy. This gun shoots like a dream. So make sure to stay tuned for that. But if you guys like what you're seeing, please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring that bell icon to get notified every time we upload a new video. And what would be the best way to support the channel?
The absolute best way to do so would be to get all your Airsoft goodies through airsoftgi.com. It helps keep the cameras rolling, it keeps the lights on, and it keeps these videos going as well. And it keeps more MGC4s being made.
That's right. And of course, we have tons of great deals on the daily. So make sure to check out our website as regularly as possible, because we have some really great deals going on for a limited time only. And of course, every order over $179 gets you automatic free shipping.
Absolutely.
Yep. Other than that, Mayo gang, this is Boaz.
And Isaias.
We'll catch you next time, Mayo gang.
Take it easy, guys.